In just about a decade, India has completely exploded onto the electronics manufacturing scene. It's this incredible story of growth, right? Fueled by huge global companies looking for a plus one to their China supply chains. But here's the thing, here's the twist. Becoming a world-class assembler is one thing. That's kind of like getting really, really good at baking a frozen pizza. But becoming a true powerhouse, that means you got to make the whole pizza from scratch. So let's dive into India's super ambitious journey to do just that.
Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we're going to look at the insane manufacturing boom that put India on the map. Then, we'll peel back a layer and uncover this Made in India paradox that's hiding just under the surface. After that, we'll check out the strategy to fix it by building a real component ecosystem, and we'll get into the super high-stakes bet on semiconductors. And finally, we'll size up the next big global test that's waiting for India.
So to really wrap your head around the sheer scale of India's growth, you just have to look at the numbers. And honestly, they tell a pretty staggering story of just incredible speed and volume.
To start, you really only need to remember one number, 2. That's it. India is now the world's second largest mobile phone manufacturer. That is a massive, massive leap that puts it right at the heart of the global electronics industry.
And this, boom, it's not just about the final number of phones. It's about the infrastructure behind it. Get this, in 2014, India had exactly 2 mobile manufacturing units. Just 2. Today, over 300. I mean, that is an almost unbelievable expansion of the country's assembly power in just 10 years.
And this shows you that this whole boom isn't just for India's own huge domestic market. Nope. Exports have shot up 127 times. India isn't just making phones for Indians anymore. It's making them for the rest of the world.
And if you look at it in terms of money, the growth is just as dramatic. This chart here shows the production value just soaring, from around 18,000 crore rupees to over 400,000 crore in a decade. It's the really impressive face of the Make in India program. But as we're about to find out, there's a hidden catch.
Yeah, because underneath this absolutely incredible success story, there's a critical and often overlooked paradox.
This simple question right here is the key to understanding the next, and much harder, phase of India's challenge. We see that Made in India label on the box, but what does that label truly represent?
To get it, we have to talk about 2 very different things. See, final assembly, that's like taking a frozen pizza out of the box and just putting it in the oven. Easy enough. Component manufacturing, though, that's making the dough, simmering the sauce, grating the cheese yourself. India has become an absolute expert at warming up the pizza. The real challenge now is to own the entire recipe.
The number that really matters here is local value addition, which is basically how much of that phone's value was actually created in India. Right now, that number is only about 15 to 20%. Now, to put that in perspective, in China, it's almost double at 38%. Vietnam was in a similar spot a decade ago, and they successfully turned themselves into a component powerhouse. That's the playbook India is trying to follow.
And this is where that paradox just slaps you in the face. In a recent fiscal year, India exported over $38 billion in electronics, which is fantastic, a huge win. But they also had to import nearly $37 billion worth of components just to build them. That export success is almost completely canceled out by the import costs. It tells you exactly where the really valuable parts are coming from. Somewhere else. So where are all these components coming from? Well, this chart shows a pretty heavy dependency. Almost 40% of the parts come directly from China, with another 16% from Hong Kong. Relying so heavily on one region for the fundamental building blocks of your industry, well, that's a major strategic risk.
So how does India fix this, right? How do you go from just baking the pizza to making all the ingredients from scratch? The answer is in a really comprehensive government strategy to build a domestic component ecosystem from the ground up.
The first pillar of this strategy was something called the phased manufacturing program. The idea was actually pretty simple but really powerful. Instead of letting companies import these almost finished phone kits, the policy pushed them to import individual components instead. This basically forced more of the complex assembly work to happen inside India, which slowly but surely builds up local skills and capabilities.
Now, to really supercharge this whole shift, the government rolled out a seriously powerful policy toolkit. You've probably heard of the PLI scheme, which rewards companies for just producing more stuff. But these other 2 schemes, SPECS and ECMS, they are laser-focused on solving the real problem, getting companies to actually make the components themselves. So how do you convince a company to build a crazy expensive component factory in India, especially when it's often cheaper just to import the parts with zero duty?
Well, what if the government basically walked up and said, hey, we'll give you a massive discount on the entire setup cost?
That is exactly what the spec scheme does. It gives companies a 25% financial incentive on their capital expenditure. This is a direct attack on what's called the disability cost. All the extra expenses from things like high-cost loans, spotty electricity, and logistical headaches that just make it more expensive to manufacture in India. It basically levels the playing field.
And look, this isn't just theory or some plan on a whiteboard, it's already happening. The first 7 projects under a related scheme just got approved to manufacture really high-value components like camera modules and printed circuit boards. These new plants alone are expected to cover up to 20% of India's own demand and, this is critical, export about 60% of what they make. This is the strategy in action right now.
Okay, so now we come to the absolute peak of this strategy. The most complex, the most expensive, and the most strategic ingredient of them all, that tiny little silicon chip that powers literally everything. This is India's great semiconductor bet.
The government has put 76,000 crore rupees on the table for the India Semiconductor mission. This is a crystal clear signal that building a domestic chip ecosystem isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a top national priority for both economic security and, frankly, technological independence in the 21st century. And after decades of, false starts, things are finally moving at a breathtaking pace. As you can see on this timeline, huge proposals from giants like Tata were approved in early 2024 for both making and packaging chips. And the target is incredibly ambitious, to have the very first Made in India chip roll off the production line as early as 2025. As industry leaders like Ashok Chandak are pointing out, this isn't just about making one more component. It's about fundamentally changing India's entire position in the global value chain, slashing that critical import dependence we saw earlier, and becoming a real hub for advanced technology.
Okay, so with this incredibly ambitious plan now in full swing, what does the road ahead actually look like? Let's take a look at the final leg of this journey, the challenges that are still there, and what the ultimate prize really is.
The path forward is really a balancing act, as this slide kind of lays out. On one side, you've got these major hurdles, things like the high cost of money, gaps in infrastructure, that heavy reliance on component imports we talked about, and a real lack of advanced R&D labs. But on the other side, the advantages are just as powerful. A huge domestic market, a skilled workforce, strong government support, and this really crucial geopolitical tailwind of global companies scrambling to diversify their supply chains.
Which brings us right back to our pizza. India has proven, without a doubt, that it's a world-class expert at assembling and exporting phones. It has totally mastered that final step. But the ultimate test, the one question that is going to define the next decade, is whether it can now build the entire thing, from the silicon wafer to the final screen, and become a true end-to-end electronics powerhouse on the world stage.